Hello and welcome to the Oklahyzer Discraft channel. I finally got my hands on one of these here test flight Raptors, and I've been hearing a lot of people ask how they compare to other discs. So I decided to do a comparison video with a Big Z Vulture and a Big Z Predator. I got my buddy Chris to help me out. He's a lefty, so I got a comparison video for all three of these discs here. And stay tuned throughout the video because I'm actually going to give away all three of these discs. You could win one, two, or all of them as long as you just find out what the details are. So I hope you enjoy. Here's the video. Try that again.
Yep, absolutely.
I got my buddy Chris here. He's a lefty, I'm a righty. We're gonna throw these discs, both backhand, forehand, overhand. We're gonna see which ones fly the most stable, which ones are the least stable. I got all three max weight.
I've got a Raptor that's a 164 and 166 gram, but that's perfect for me. I like a little bit lighter weight. I feel like it's a little bit better controllable for me. I'm still gonna try out these as well, but you know, I'm glad he got this for me. This is money made.
Thanks. After the video, we're gonna give away this Predator as well. Just leave a comment down below. Tell us which ones you currently bag, which ones you intend on bagging, and let us know what you think the most stable disc is, what you think the least stable disc is based on our flights. Okay, so that was just flat to hyzer on all those backhands. Now I'm going to try another round of backhands, but I'm going to do a flex line on these ones. See which one of these discs are stable enough to flex all the way back from. That was smooth. Balance so easy. I love the ground.
But the Predator is super forgiving. Yeah. Look at that. Like the deal. I think it's just so overstable. It's a beauty. Okay.
All right, so I may not be the best person to do this, but I'm going to go ahead and throw a couple overhands, and we're going to see how they fly it that way. Okay, we also have three Raptors here, all a little bit different. We're going to test these out, see how they compare in stability with each other. First, we have a max weight Z. We have a max weight ESP Glow, and we also have a lightweight Z. I'm going to throw them in what I think will be the most stable to the least stable, and we'll see how that plays out. Okay, so for our final review of these three molds, we're going to start with this Predator. This Predator here is the one I'm going to give away with this video. I'd like you guys to leave an insightful comment down below about what you think is the most stable, the least stable, what you thought about the video, which of these discs do you bag, and which discs are you considering bagging now that you've seen this. We're just going to pick a comment down below and message you on Facebook and get you this disc, ship it out to you wherever you are, as long as you're in the country. So anyways, as far as this Predator goes, I'd say it's the most forgiving of the three molds. It's got just enough understability to really come back whenever you early release it, but it's also got enough overstability to where if you grip lock it, you're still going to get some good distance out of it. Me personally, I think it feels fantastic for backhands, but it's just not really, I'm not feeling it for forehand myself, but it's still a fantastic disc. It's probably the one that I was throwing the furthest today. But what do you think, Chris? What do you think about this Predator?
I think the same thing. I think that if you're comparing the three discs as far as like distance getters, I do think that the Vulture or the Predator are going to be your better two. In the backhand, like Nate was saying, this thing just feels amazing. There's actually a little bit of embossing. I'm not sure what this is, but it really helps out the grip too. So, you know, if you hold a backhand, and me personally, it doesn't bother my sidearm at all. So I'll even use that grip for both shots. But I definitely agree with Nate. This is the most forgiving disc, and it's still overstable. You know, don't let us say it's forgiving, so it's got to be, you know, a neutral to flippy disc, because a Predator is not a flippy disc by any means. I just feel like that if you were a newer player, you might really opt for one of these.
All right. Next, we're going to move to the Vulture. This Vulture here, I actually want to give this one away too, but I'm going to give it away on Instagram. So head over to my Instagram, I'll link to it down below, and you can get entered to win this disc as well. As far as the Vulture goes, I'd say if I could only bag one of these three molds, it would be the Vulture. The Vulture is probably my most used disc in my entire bag. Not only does it feel incredible backhand, but it feels incredible forehand. I mentioned this before, I can't speak well enough of it. This is just a fantastic disc. It's just, I mean, I can't speak well enough of it. It's definitely the one that I would say is the most valuable of all these discs here. What do you think about the Vulture?
Oh, I really enjoyed the Vulture today. It's a really true flying disc. You know, you can fly this thing almost at distance driver distances if you wanted to, and also it's super controllable. And just because I say it's controllable doesn't mean, again, that it's flippy by any means. It's just, it comes out of the hand so smooth and well-rounded disc. I'm talking about for backhand and forehand alike. This thing is just, it's money. It really is. I can't say enough good things about this disc today. Actually, as a matter of fact, if I were to recommend a newer player who's getting into disc golf, if they're really interested in drivers, I would probably tell them at this point, go pick you up 2 or 3 Vultures and just start wearing them in and start learning this disc because it's just a great disc. I can't say enough good things about it. Here's the max weight.
Next, we're going to talk about the Raptor here. The Raptor, man, this thing is stable. I'd say today this is the most stable disc of everything that we've thrown, this max weight Z, and man, does it have some crazy ground play. I think that it has some great potential for backhands, but me, myself, I'm going to be using it almost entirely for forehands. This disc is super flat and super firm. You can see here, it's just, I mean, no dome to it, but it also just gets some incredible ground play, maybe just being that Z plastic. I really like my disc to skip and plan on that skip, and I can count on that almost every time I throw this one.
I really enjoyed this disc today. Actually, it's a very good golf disc. If you're trying to find an overstable mold for any arm speed, you know, I definitely think that a Raptor is going to be a great option for that. I was throwing this thing from, you know, I would say probably the better end of 300-foot hyzers all the way. So this thing's very overstable, and Nate had said something to me earlier about how this thing almost hyzers out of your hand sometimes, and it really does. You know, you really gotta throw this disc. One thing that I really love about this, and it was something I've been feeling all day, is how flat it is. I don't know if y'all can see that, but I love a flat, overstable fairway driver. My Raptor's going in my bag for sure. Can't say enough good things about it.
We're also going to talk about this lightweight Raptor here. This one is, you know, almost 12 grams lighter than the other one. It's 164, and it is, I mean, even being a super overstable and lightweight disc, this thing is still just so smooth. It takes so little effort to throw. So, you know, like he said earlier, if you're a beginner looking into getting an overstable disc, you may actually try and find a lightweight one, because it doesn't matter how light it is. This disc, the way that it's been molded, is just gonna tank no matter what. It's super stable, and I love how just smooth it comes out of the hand. He particularly likes lightweight discs, and so this turned out amazing for him.
Yeah, I really love the lightweight discs. For me, they're very controllable. I feel like that, you know, if I mess up on my shot, that's kind of on me in the 160 grams. So I really like a disc that's a little bit lighter weight. This is my Raptor that I got off of Nate, and this is definitely going in my bag. I'll tell you that right now. It's getting my stamp later on.
And lastly, we have here to review is this disc I got from my buddy Will up in Michigan. He hooked it up, and this thing is my favorite disc of the bunch. As far as these ones, I know earlier I said I like the Vulture the most, but I think I like that ESP Vulture a little bit better than the Big Z myself. But as far as these 5 discs here, this one is great. It's an ESP Glow. It's just a little bit less stable than that max weight Z, but still more stable than the lightweight Z. I think it's just that perfect medium. It's still so stable that I don't have any problems with it, but I'm also more of a prefer the ESP kind of plastic. It's just as flat and just as stable and gets just as much ground play. So I love it.
Yeah, again, I'm gonna agree. This thing is just as overstable as the max weight Test Flight Z one. Actually, Discraft, I like this ESP so much. Find me a middle 160 gram and I'll buy it for sure. So that's what I think about those. I love the ESP plastic. Great stuff. I did want to say one last thing about the Vulture. I know it's a little bit late, but I do throw ESP Vultures. I have a couple of them that are in my bag already, and after throwing that Big Z one today, I'm getting a couple of those. I really like the way how the grip was, and it was just flying so smooth all day. I can't say enough good things about the Big Z Vulture today, dude.
Nice. And last but not least, I've decided last minute, I'm also going to give this disc away, but I'm going to need you guys to get my video up to 150 likes. So I'm giving away 3 discs. You got 3 chances to win. You got the Predator that is going to be picked a comment. You got the Vulture that's going to be on Instagram. And then if we can get up to 150 likes, we're going to give this one away to a random comment down below as well. I'll be contacting you on Facebook or Instagram, whichever one you win. And until next time, have a good one, guys.
Excellent.
Final test, we'll see which one's the most stable if I throw them all at the same time. I gotta say, that Vulture just tanks straight to the ground. It's gotta be the most stable.
It really does, but if you look at that Predator, it got you the distance.